Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. A lot has happened since the last live stream. Obviously, we were discussing what's been going wrong at Leicester. Are we going to bottle it? But just after 2 games, the table has completely changed. We've gone from 3rd to 1st in a matter of hours on Saturday after that win against Birmingham City at the King Power Stadium. And, of course, Ipswich and Leeds both dropped points and both lost, which is massive for us. And obviously Leicester picked up the 3 points with that Stephy Mavididi last-minute winner. So today we're going to be discussing that game, looking ahead to tomorrow's game against Millwall away from home. Obviously the games are coming thick and fast in this run, and have a quick look at how Ipswich and Leeds did get on in their games as well. Because obviously, like I said, them 2 dropped points, which is absolutely massive. I had to do the stream a little bit earlier than always, so I'm not expecting too many people in it tonight. But yeah, it'd be massively appreciated if you could go and drop a like and let me know your thoughts in the chat as we go throughout tonight's stream. But yeah, the table, here it is then. Leicester City are back to top spot, which is absolutely massive. 88 points to 87 to 86. Obviously, there's still a lot of things which can happen and change because there's a long way to go. But the game in hand is massive, and now it's completely in Leicester's hands. We just need to keep taking it game by game. But of course, the wins against Norwich and against Birmingham, have given us a nice little lead at the top of that point. And obviously, Ipswich and Leeds have lost. That's good. Then now they're having to respond from that. And I believe I think Leeds are in action tomorrow, and Ipswich play on Wednesday. So they've got to come back, turn around, and if they drop some more points and Leicester get maximum points tomorrow against Millwall, it could be in a position where a few wins and it's pretty much done. So it's a massive week for Leicester, and thank God we have got back to winning ways, because this time last week when we were discussing the games the game against Norwich to come, this time last week exactly, we were like, oh, I don't think we'll win. So to get 6 points from the last 2 games is absolutely massive for Leicester, and it's completely changed how the percentages and how it's looking for the probabilities of who's getting promoted back to the Premier League. And as you can see, since the 3rd of April to now, it has gone up by 15%. So and I'm not one for those stats and stuff and whatnot, but it's quite cool to look at how significant it's changed. And for me, I think Southampton are completely done. I think they're completely out of the picture. And that game against Southampton, that game in hand, is absolutely massive for Leicester. And it could have been different. Southampton probably should have got something against Ipswich. Somehow they get another late goal. I don't know how they keep doing it, but there we go. Thank God Ipswich didn't grab one against Norwich City. But yeah, I think that tells you a lot, and that's just how quickly it can change. Leicester could quite easily lose tomorrow. Ipswich and Leeds could win, and we're straight back to square one. So it's just a matter of keeping that form going now for the remainder of the season. If you look down, this is on OPTA. So yeah, Leicester have got a 0.2% chance of finishing 4th. I don't think how can we finish 4th? But anyway, yeah. All the percentages are with Leicester to win the league, and yes, it's all stats and whatnot, but it's positive. But then again, I think we had about a 80% chance of getting the Champions League a few years ago, and look how that turned out. So yeah, there's still a long way to go. But yeah, on to that game, obviously on Saturday against Birmingham City. Obviously it was a narrow win, but then again, I thought we were very, very unlucky to concede, and it comes from obviously us playing out from the back. But if you look at all the stats and whatnot, Leicester absolutely dominated that game and completely deserved the win, in my opinion. So yeah, if you just look from the attacking momentum bar there, you can just see Leicester's dominance. And I thought we played really well again, to be fair. Obviously, there was a few mistakes. Second half, at times, we found it difficult to really penetrate and come through the end. But I think the goal was coming, and it wasn't great to have it that late on. To be fair, I thought it was going to be a draw, but to get it late goal like that is massive for confidence, and hopefully we can bring that into the game tomorrow against Millwall away, which is going to be a tough game. It's another team who've got something to fight for down towards the bottom of the table. But the team itself, I thought I was completely happy with it, apart from Daka up top. I don't know how he keeps starting, but Doyle at left back, which I'm a big fan of. Justin came a bit more inside and did really well, in my opinion. And I thought the team, we played really well. And Diddy wasn't fantastic, but then again, I thought he looked pretty knackered towards the end. So yeah, I think all in all, it was a very good performance from the boys. We got the job done, and at this time, just like I said, the performance is good to have, but I don't really care if you play awfully and grab an own goal or something. As long as we get 3 points, it's all that matters. So you think we're getting Ketia? I wouldn't be against it, but I think transfers is a bit out of the window right now with the embargo and whatnot. But yeah, I'd definitely take him. But I think a straight swap for him and Dewsbury was a bit pathetic, really. So yeah, but I think there's a long way to go until we start looking at transfers and whatnot. But he'd definitely be a player who will be interested in, and I think he would be open to a move to us because, he's playing at Arsenal, which is all good, but he isn't playing. So, I think a move down to someone like Leicester, if we do go up, could be right for him. But yeah, just like I said, there's a long way to go from transfers and whatnot. But yeah, obviously Leeds and Ipswich both lost. We have a quick look at their fixture run-ins in a minute. But on that Birmingham City game, it's an interesting one. It was, because I think Enzo didn't really know how Birmingham City were going to set up, really. So I think them first 5-10 minutes were just like a kind of a scanning process of thinking how Birmingham were going to play. And I thought we started quite well. At times we dropped off a bit, but that's going to happen. But just like I said, at this point of the season, the mentality to score them late goals, we've done it in back-to-back games now ish. If you count Norwich, I think it's absolutely massive, and we just need to try and cut out the errors defensively. And I think that the Hermanson ones, it's a goal which is always going to happen with the way which Leicester play. We saw it against Watford, and it's just it's always going to happen. So you feel bad for Everton with the -2 deduction. I think I don't know if I feel bad, but I think it's I think it's pathetic, really, the way they're doing that when, they seem to make it up as they go along. Forest had a higher loss and get I think it was -4, and Everton now got -6. So I don't know how they decide that, but it's probably going to be us next season. So yeah. I don't know. You got Chelsea and Man City, well, Man City especially, who are sat there with these 115 charges, and they're more bothered about punishing teams below them trying to stay up in the league. So yeah, it's just absolutely pathetic in my opinion. But yeah, that is on the poll, everyone's going with Leicester to get promoted, so we love to see that. But just like I said last stream, personally, I think it will be Leicester and Ipswich, and then Leeds to fall short, which I think we would all very much enjoy after that game at Ellen Road. But yeah, talking of Leeds, then we'll have a quick look at their fixtures for the remainder of the season. Just like I said, if it wants to load, they also played Sunderland yesterday. Oh no, they got Sunderland tomorrow. Sorry, at Ellen Road, which they got a very good record at home, so that's probably going to be a win for them. Blackburn at Ellen Road as well, tough game. Borough, tough game. QPR away, that's going to be tough as well. They're fighting, and Southampton, can go head to toe with the teams around us. So they've got a very tough running, have Leeds. And even these last 2 games, obviously Coventry they lost. Hull City, I don't think was a 3-1 game, to be fair. Obviously they dropped points to Watford as well. So the last 3 games, Leeds have not been at it at all. And it's going to be tough for them to bounce back. Obviously it's going to be very loud tomorrow, but yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. If Sunderland do turn up, although Sunderland have been pretty awful in recent weeks, you never know. But Borough away, I can see them dropping points there. QPR away, that's going to be very difficult. And Southampton at home on the final day, that's going to be a tough game for them as well. So the fixtures, and I'm going to look at Ipswich in a minute. The fixtures all sway in Leicester's way. I think Leeds will get second, as much as I had to say it. Do you think? I don't know. Something tells me Leeds will just fall off, because I don't know. I think Ipswich will get playoffs. No, I think Ipswich will get second and Leicester will be first. I know that's quite a sway of predictions, but I still back us. 4 wins, I say, 1 draw for Leeds. Yeah, I mean, that draw could be massive. And, if that does happen, if Leicester, win the next spot, we've got Millwall tomorrow, Plymouth on Friday, West Brom, which is going to be tough. If we can, pick 6 points up for the next 2, that's going to always be there, really. And it's just going to come down to them fine margins. And, if we can win the next 2 games, that puts us in a fantastic position, especially with that game in hand to come on the horizon as well against Southampton, which, albeit, is going to be tough. But yeah, looking at Ipswich then, they've got a tough game on Wednesday, the next one. Watford at Portman Road. They've got back-to-back home games, which will be big for them. I think the expectation for them will be 6 points from them. Hull away, which is going to be very tough. Coventry, which is going to be very tough as well. So them 2 are going to be incredibly tough. Then Huddersfield at home on the final day, which they should win quite comfortably. So, once again, very, very tough games for Ipswich. But, just like I've been saying, every game at this point in the league is tough. Everyone's got something to fight for. Even Huddersfield have got something to fight for. You never know. And just like I said, Watford have picked up form recently. They got a point against Leeds the other week as well. Borough, always a tough team to play against. So, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how it how these final few games open up. But I think Leicester right now are in the best position. Personally, I just think to get over that loss, the losses against Bristol City and whatnot. I think to just get over that lull, to get them to get 6 points and back-to-back wins against tough opponents. I don't know if Birmingham are tough opponents, but they've got stuff to fight for, and I think it's very good for us. They're struggling against Watford and Cov, 100% agree. And it's going to be interesting to see how we get on. But obviously, we've got a game tomorrow, Millwall away again, of course, in the league this time. And, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough game. I'm just going to quickly get the table up once again if I can find it, because I think Millwall are definitely down there. So just like I said, it's another game where, Leicester are fighting to go up and Millwall are obviously fighting to stay up in the league. So I believe they've been pretty poor in recent weeks. So, if we have a look at the championship table, score down to Millwall, they are in 20th. So, they've got a lot to fight for, Jesus. So, they're on a poor run of form on Millwall, but then again, tough place to go. The Den, we all know what surrounds that, despite the fact in the FA Cup, I didn't really think it had much about it, but I think tomorrow it will be quite full, and it's going to be a tough atmosphere for Leicester to play in. But tomorrow's going to be another tough one. If you look at their last couple of results, they lost to Huddersfield, lost to Rotherham. But then again, they draw at home to West Brom. So, that shows you everything, and get a win at home against Birmingham. So at home, they have been pretty good, but they are coming into the game off the back of two pretty poor defeats to Rotherham, who are now relegated already, and Huddersfield as well, which was massive. So, Millwall are going to be on the back foot, but just like I said, at this point in the season, it doesn't really mean too much because anyone could beat anybody. And I think tomorrow both teams will be making changes, especially Leicester. I thought a lot of players look absolutely knackered in those final few moments on Saturday against Birmingham City. In particular, that's with Wilfred and Didi. So I think tomorrow we'll see at least four or five changes maybe. Herman's in goal. Ricardo at right back. I think the centre backs will should they remain the same? I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't be against Cody coming in. But let's just stick with Wout and Yannick as the two centre backs. Left back, it could be anyone really. Justin Doyle, I thought both of them played quite well on the weekend, so I don't really care who plays there. My preference would be Doyle just about, because I think he offers a bit more going forward. But then again, Justin does tuck in quite nicely. So I guess it depends on how Millwall play and how Enzo sees that. Midfielder-wise, I'll probably keep it the same. But then again, it is tough to not ignore Yunus Akgun and Dennis Pratt, who both came on and were instrumental, really, especially Yunus, also who provided that big ball to Mavididi at the back post. So it's tough. But I think you've got to go, obviously, wings, Ricardo coming in there. You've got to go with Dewsbury, who's been on brilliant form in recent weeks. Obviously, scored against Birmingham City. Obviously, Mavididi will get all the praise, the highlights for that one. But Dewsbury scored a fantastic goal in that game as well. The front three, you've got to go with Steffi. Up top's difficult. Do you go with Daka? I don't think Daka was too bad on Saturday. But then again, can we get better? Vardy came on, provided a slight impact. You got Cannon, Ian Acho as well. So it's well front. Who knows? Obviously, Steffi plays. Fatawu, does he play? I don't know. I don't know if Fatawu was too good against Birmingham City, so I wouldn't be against Yunus coming in. And just like I said, there has to be some sort of rotation. Ethan's dropped his lineup in the chat. Hermanson, Chowdhury, Nelson, Doyle. Obviously, playing Nelson and Doyle at centre backs. Jesus. Justin and Diddy, Pratt, Dewsbury, All, Brighton, Mavididi, Cannon. A lot of changes then. So, I think that defence is a bit shaky. I'm not going to lie. I think Chowdhury's shaky alone, and then you got Nelson and Doyle, who I think are good players, but pairing them together for the first time in a big game like this, I don't know about that. And then you got with and Diddy, Pratt, Dewsbury, All, Brighton, I do stand All Brighton quite a bit, but then again, when he has played this season, he hasn't actually been too bad. So I wouldn't be against him, and then potentially I'll say we start Yunus tomorrow. I just thought he was so good against Birmingham City. You've gone with a 4-1 Leicester winning that one. I'll take that. But if it's a 1-0 own goal in the 95th minute like Ipswich, I wouldn't be against that either. Let's have a quick look at the poll. So we've got a few Ipswich voters in there as well, which is interesting. But I think it's very tough to predict how it is going to go. But I'm probably going to head off in a few minutes, boys. I've got to head back to uni tonight, so I haven't got too long to record this one. But yeah, I think tomorrow it's just a case of, you know, doing our business. Everton, Jesus, that's a long time ago. Doing our job, and we should be all right, really. But then again, we just never know in those type of games. I think if Leicester can grab that goal in the first 25 minutes or so, silent the crowds a bit, and then just play our football, dominate the game, try and cut out any silly mistakes, because, you know, Millwall could punish us. We saw it in the FA Cup game. They can't score goals. It was 3-2 to Leicester in that one. Interesting enough, it was Tom Cannon who played very. I think he scored 2 in that one, didn't he? Oh, it was Castay, Ricky, and Cannon weren't it in that one? So I wouldn't be against Tom Cannon starting tomorrow. But then again, he hasn't played for quite a while. But the way I see it, I think Enzo will play Mads in goal, Ricardo, Vestergaard, Faz. I think Justin will start. He'll go with Harry Winks, Dewsbury Hall, Dennis Pratt. He'll go with Steffi, Vardy, and then I reckon he'll throw Atwood in maybe out wide. I don't know. It's a bit of a rogue shout, but anyway, there we go then, boys and girls. That is where I'll be wrapping up the stream tonight. Thank you very much for coming in. Obviously, I'm very early tonight, so I'm not expecting too many people in. Next stream, we'll be back at the usual 8:30 starting time, and obviously, I've only streamed twice this whole season, really. So, yeah, it's good to be back, and hopefully we can get the job done tomorrow. I'll make sure to do a bit of content on Wednesday, probably after that Millwall game, discussing that one, and hopefully discussing a big 3 points, and potentially we could be discussing drop points for Leeds United against Sunderland. But yeah, if you watch this back on playback, make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments on today's stream. Who's going to go up? It's still up for grabs, but my prediction is Leicester, Ipswich, Leeds, and Southampton, and West Brom in Hull or something like that. But yeah, still a long way to go. A lot can change tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to go 3-1 win to Leicester. You heard it here first. Stick on the acca and provide the money. So yeah, I'll see you boys tomorrow. Thank you for coming in, much appreciated, and hopefully we can get the job done. Also, go and watch the vlog if you haven't already. But yeah, cheers boys. I'll see you later. All the best.